2 monitors, 0 wobble, and no cable mess. That is the kind of setup we chase with every desk upgrade, and the Kaloc DS160-2 dual monitor arm promises exactly that. So we mounted it, spent a full week testing how it handles stability, heavier screens, and multi-monitor productivity. Let's dig in and see if it actually delivers what it promises. Now, if you have never used a gas spring arm before, the idea is pretty simple. You free your monitors from the stands they came with, then mount them on a flexible arm that lets you pull, tilt, rotate, and raise them without effort. And once you get used to that kind of freedom, you do not want to go back. And this one promises that exact experience, but with a few extras that caught our attention. So let us go through the whole thing from unboxing to daily use. First thing we noticed is the build. This is not one of those hollow steel tube arms that rattles if you tap it. The body is aluminum alloy from top to bottom, which gives it a solid feel without turning it into a desk anchor. Its silver finish has that slightly industrial but premium tone, almost like the arm on an Apple Studio display. It does not try to look flashy, and that actually helps it blend into both plain and RGB heavy setups. So here is how the whole install actually went from box to working setup. You get 3 hex keys in the pack, 5mm, 4mm, and 3mm. For the base fixture, we used the 4mm key first. You attach the clamp fixture to the base plate, set the desk thickness, and lock it by tightening the main screw. That clamp has enough range for a thin MDF desk or a thick wood slab, so you can match almost any setup. On the front, there is a spot for a USB hub module. If you want front USB access, you just remove the cover, drop the module in, connect its cable to your PC, and the ports show up on the desk. We skipped it for now, but it is a useful option. Once the base is assembled, you clamp it to the desk by tightening the lower screw. That locks the mount without wobble, and if you ever want to move it, you just loosen the same head and lift the whole unit. No marks on the desk. Then we put the arm base on the pole and locked it with a 3mm hex key so it does not rotate. After that, the visor plates go on the monitors first. Once they are attached, you lift the screen, hook it into the arm slot, and slide it down until it clicks, which means the safety catch grabbed it. Now comes the tension part. It supports 22 to 32-inch screens and up to 15 kilograms per arm, but the gas spring needs matching weight. We use 2 27-inch monitors at around 7 kilograms each. The tension screw is adjusted with the 3mm hex. Turn it clockwise for heavier screens, counter for lighter. We tuned it a couple of times until the screens stayed in place without drifting up or sinking down. After that, both arms moved smooth and held the monitors exactly where we left them. And that brings us to movement. This arm gives you tilt from -70 to +70 degrees, full 360 swivel, and full rotation. So yes, portrait mode is on the table. That is handy for editing timelines, coding, or just doom scrolling socials on a vertical screen while pretending to work. You can also push both screens closer together so the bezels nearly touch, or pull them out wide if you want a central space for a laptop. While using it, the motion felt smooth, not loose, not stiff. The gas spring does most of the work, so you are not wrestling with it. And because each arm is independent, you can have one screen higher, one screen angled in, or one turned sideways while the other stays locked. Anyone who uses a reference monitor, chat monitor, or vertical browser tab setup will appreciate that freedom. Speaking of curved displays, yes, it supports them as long as they stay within the 22 to 32-inch range and under the 15 kilogram limit. We tried 27-inch curved monitors, and the alignment was still consistent. Based on how stable it stays, we expect it can handle a 32-inch curved monitor just as well. Now, cable management, and we like this part. Most arms slap on a plastic clip and call it a day, but it actually built channels into the arm where the cables tuck in and disappear. That keeps the whole arm clean, and it stops the cables from rubbing or pulling when you move the screens. And right at the base, you get 2 rooms for USB ports. Small detail, but very convenient. Let us move into usability over time. Once the monitors are dialed in, there is not much to think about. If you are someone who edits, codes, or streams, you move the screens constantly based on what you are doing. With dual arms, you get that flexibility without moving both screens at once. Once you live with that for a week, it is hard to go back to a fixed mount. Now, limitations. First, clearance. If your desk is pushed right up against a wall, the arms will not fully extend forward because they need a little space behind the desk. Not a flaw, just something you have to know before buying. Second, the tension screw adjustment takes a little patience. You might overshoot and then readjust a few times. That is normal for gas arms, but worth mentioning. Third, if your monitors have very thick metal Visa plates or weird mounting cutouts, you might need spacers, which are not included. Would we recommend it? Yes, it delivers what it promises, does not feel cheap and handles heavier screens without flex. And anyone with two screens who moves them often, wants a cleaner desk or wants more ergonomic control, it's a good option. If you are upgrading from two stock monitor stands, the difference will be obvious on day one. If you already use a single arm mount, this is a clean way to go dual without stacking two separate arms or bolting a huge pole to the desk. So that is the Kaloc DS160 dual monitor arm. If you have questions or thoughts, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos.